Hands down, the most crazy thing I've ever seen was in this chapter with Katarina Devon. The things that the Blackbeard pirates can do from now on out. You have to understand, like, Blackbeard's dreams are in his grasp from now on out because he's just that close to getting access to certain clearances nobody other than the Fifth Elders can get access to. Blackbeard puts his stubbornness on these missions that puts him so close to his goal. Everything that surrounds Jaygarcia Saturn is now accessible to Blackbeard pirates. And like I said before, this has to be a level playing field. This has to be an even level playing field for Luffy and Blackbeard when it comes to the final war. And it seems like Blackbeard is getting upper hand throughout this series. This chapter was so amazing, and to see that even Blackbeard got feats in this chapter without even seeing Blackbeard is so amazing. It begs to think, was this Blackbeard's goal this whole time in making his move? Maybe he did know that Jaygarcia Saturn was gonna be on Egghead. Like, nobody would have known this. How will Blackbeard know this? Can't wait to see it clarified in the chapters on how Blackbeard would know Jaygarcia Saturn is actually on Egghead. So the question actually is one of the Marines actually working with Blackbeard pirates? We've seen this already in Doflamingo pirates with Virgo. It's definitely possible that somebody who's actually working with the Blackbeard pirates to infiltrate the Marines. And let's talk about the giant pirates now. They are definitely here. They're on landfall. The things that they actually can do to help the Straw Hats get off this island. Like, this fight, it seems like it's one-sided definitely because other giant pirates are here. Like, this is total access for Luffy to leave the island with the help of the giants. Now, they're going to be so massive in the alliance with Luffy. They're definitely from now on not going to be on Luffy's side. That the giants know that Luffy's actually Nika and they want to retrieve Nika. We're going to get the Void Century and things surrounding Nika when we get to Elbaf. Like, that is so amazing that it's coming even sooner than we thought. And I said this even last chapter, that we're going to get everything that we need through the Void Century in one whole arc. And it's maybe sooner than what we thought. Giants' lifespan is 300 and beyond years. Like, they can live to be 300 or more. So they definitely have giants that's been in the Void Century. And I can't say already that once we get to Elbaf, it'll be clarified on what the world government was fighting, who the world government was fighting, who is Nika, who is Joy Boy, and Void Century. Everything will be answered in Elbaf. And we see how excited Usopp is to go to Elbaf. Like, I'm very excited. So we can say that the next arc may be Elbaf because we already have a gateway through it with the Giants. The Giants will lead Luffy and Straw Hats to Elbaf. And not to mention, we see that Brook did not think ahead of time to actually stop the Sunny from sliding with his ice powers. But one of these Giants can actually catch the Sunny go right in his hands and lay the Sunny down. Like, they're here for a real reason on multiple levels. And then after we get the panels of Brook and Lilith, we see this fight still carrying out between Zoro and Luchi. Now, the whole community is going crazy over this fight with Zoro and Luchi. Zoro is spending too much time on Luchi, and Luchi is holding out Zoro for too long. I don't know which side you on in this community, but at the same time, I think it's definitely plot armor on why Zoro is actually fighting Luchi for this long. Now, I can't say Luchi is a strong opponent. Mind you, Zoro is number 2 of the Straw Hats. Luffy walked the dog with Luchi. Now, it seems like Zoro is having a bit trouble because in these official panels, we see that he's actually tiring out. We know this is not a serious Zoro because he does not have his bandana on, right? But at the same time, I think Zoro is kind of spending too long on Luchi. Seems like Zoro is going to wrap this up next chapter on his dialogue in official Viz translation. But if you want my opinion, I feel like Luchi cannot stand toe-to-toe with King, and we seen that Zoro had to go all out with King on the Reaper's deathbed. Like, I don't see Luchi having Zoro go beyond that level that King had Zoro go along with. So I'm pretty sure that this next chapter, Zoro gonna do a pretty cool move to wrap this up with Luchi. Now, I can say Jinbei's on the way there, so maybe it'll be a team effort between Jinbei and Zoro versus Luchi. But we have to see next chapter. As long as we know Zoro can beat Luchi, that's all that matters. But we have to fast forward to Vice Admiral Red King. Now we see the pacifistas are actually taking out the mid-size and small-size ships, right? So one thing about this is definitely coming to be one-sided in Luffy's favor. Don't get it twisted. The Marines also have powers to take out the Mark II pacifistas. But at the same time, that's Bonnie's power that they're messing with. Bonnie need all those pacifistas for the final war when it comes to Luffy versus Blackbeard. But the next best thing happens in a few more pages when we see that Luffy used a done Gatling on Jaygarcia Saturn with the help, I can't say, of Bonnie. Like Bonnie told him, like, give him something for me, you know, do that for me. And Luffy did this amazing Gatling. Like finally we get to see a Gatling on Jaygarcia Saturn, and I can't say Luffy is top strong, but then again, Jaygarcia Saturn powers is a rinse or repeat. It seems like Luffy powers did the same thing what, you know, Frankie Laser Beam did, same thing what Kuma did, like no effect on Jaygarcia Saturn because it just heals up. Not to mention Jaygarcia Saturn did the stare thing that he also did to Sanji and the people that's lower vice animal rank and rear animal rank that shoots him in the head, the little stare that Jaygarcia Saturn do, and they seem like they'll have like a little blood gush out their eyes and their nose and their face. And it kind of seemed like Luffy did get hit with it, but he was unfazed soon after. This power depends on who actually is strong or not. I think this power is definitely lethal with the weak people. If you have a weak will, this power will do significant life-threatening damage. But if you have a strong will, it will hit you, but will be significant like the other people that's weak. Other people that's weak might just be unalive off this power. I think people that are strong like Luffy and have a strong will like Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro will be a-okay. But one of the most shocking things came right after this Gatling Dawn from Luffy, and that's Sanji actually kicking away Kizaru's laser beam. Now, I said this in the stream with King of Lightning, there's no way this happens without actually Sanji using Future Sight. We know Sanji's specialty is observation hockey. I'm pretty sure Sanji's seen this a second or two in the future. Like, we see how advanced Sanji has become, his growth throughout Wano. He's woken his exoskeleton, so everything is so hyphen around him. But we have to understand what's going to happen to Dr. Vegapunk. Dr. Vegapunk knows that if he had to move, he was definitely going to be unalive. So we see that what would be the outcome of Dr. Vegapunk. We definitely know he might not leave this island. There's like 90% chance he will not leave this island. Like I said before already, that this is an even playing field if Dr. Vegapunk actually do not get off this island between the pirates and the Marines. We already know that Dr. Vegapunk drove the Marines to be this strong, right? Without him, it would be definitely leveled out between the revolutionaries and the Marines. Now, I can't say the revolutionaries have numbers just like the Marines. Also, we can give a slight edge with the Marines because they already have inventions that Dr. Vegapunk already created. But at the same time, this thing is getting to the point where there's a balance between the revolutionaries and the Marines, and I feel like when all said and done, the revolutionaries can stand toe to toe with the Marines because Dr. Vegapunk is no longer will be here to assist the Marines. And also, you gotta look at Kizaru's face. Even Kizaru was definitely starstruck to know that somebody actually blocked a light speed laser beam. Now, we've seen that Luffy actually swallowed, right, Kizaru laser beam, but Luffy can look inside the future. So it begs to differ. Did Sanji actually look into the future to actually block this laser beam? I'm telling you right now, I think that is the case. People were saying, oh, Kizaru closed his eyes, it wasn't that fast. No matter what it was, it's a light speed laser beam. No matter if he closed his eyes or not, Kizaru can actually shoot laser beam while his eyes are closed. I'm pretty sure, like, he's definitely has that fruit for decades. So even if his eyes was closed, that does not stop how slow or how fast the laser beam was kicked out. Like I said before, in my opinion, I think Sanji looked inside the future and seen where this laser beam was directed at, and he actually intercepted it and kicked it away. Now, I can't even name two people that actually did that. Well, we can say Luffy swallowed it. That could be a redirection, right, in his body. But Sanji kicked it, right? Sanji kicked laser beam, and I think he's seen that with Future Sight. And not to mention this sick panel with Sanji, Luffy, and Kizaru. Like, Kizaru is basically saying, I'm in a bind now. Like, I need to take one of you guys' head back with me. And I don't think that's happening. Listen, Kizaru couldn't do nothing with Luffy. Maybe he did underestimate Luffy during that fight. Maybe he got something up his sleeve. But it seemed like Kizaru cannot do nothing with Nika Mode. And then you have Sanji right there. So it's 2 versus 1. And maybe Jaygarcia Saturn actually join the fight and do something that will hinder Luffy, right, and Sanji. But I can't see that happening. It seems like Jaygarcia definitely got up and he's definitely recovered. So I don't think Gear 5th can actually do anything significant to Jaygarcia Saturn because of this power, this immortality Jaygarcia Saturn has. But we have to get on Katarina Devon, right, and Von Aegir. Now, by the looks of it, Katarina didn't actually think that Jaygarcia would be there, but I know they got intel that he was going to be there. Like, she was amazed to see Jaygarcia Saturn, the Fire Elders, actually come down to the earth. The way that Katarina touched Jaygarcia Saturn was so amazing to know. Everything in my head of what Blackbeard is planning, everything in my head that what Blackbeard can be close to now, that he actually has the power to look like Jaygarcia Saturn. The amount of things Blackbeard can do from now on out is actually rule the world. Even Jaygarcia Saturn asked what they was doing here, and what do you guys want? And Von Aegir said, the world. Like, that was most epic moment I ever seen in One Piece. We have fighting scenes epic, but the words of no fighting, the world, was so epic. And they even talk about Blackbeard lineage. Like, the way that we One Piece fans are set up, there's so many question marks around Blackbeard. Like, how he can control 2 devil fruits. Like, what makes Blackbeard not go to sleep for that long? Like, there's so many things that we can say. Like, Blackbeard is mixed of Lunarian, mixed with Buccaneer, mixed with so many races that we feel like, or Blackbeard is this ancient race that nobody knows, only Jaygarcia Saturn knows, and Blackbeard's crew knows. Blackbeard has the world in his grasp now. There's nothing Blackbeard cannot do. Now, I can't say how long would actually Jaygarcia, the Fire Elders, and the Marines would catch on to this. Like, you would question this me? I'm not Jaygarcia Saturn? Would you even question that? Like, people are scared to probably ask this man that because they might get unalive of the outcome of even thinking that he's not Jaygarcia Saturn. But nevertheless, Blackbeard wants this kingdom probably. Blackbeard wants to be the king of something. Maybe Blackbeard wants to be the king or the fleet admiral or Marines, or rule the new world order that he actually wants. I don't know, but he's definitely close to it with being Jaygarcia Saturn. Have somebody really assist of being Jaygarcia Saturn that will listen to him. Like, Katarina Devon, Devil Fruit is amazing, and the way that Blackbeard is playing this, playing checkers, like, oh my god, not even playing checkers, he's playing chess, and he definitely got checkmate with Jaygarcia Saturn. Like, he's above the top level. Like, a lot of people don't know about Emu. Maybe just a few people, maybe 5 or 6 people know about Emu. That's including with the 5 elders. Maybe it's one other person knows about Emu. That's Sabo. Like, these people right here is the outmost high. Okay? Like, people like this are gonna have to rule the world knowing that they may be copied at any moment. So that bears to differ. Katarina Devon is actually gonna be on the most wanted posters ever because of what she just did. She now can be Jaygarcia Saturn anytime, any place now. But let's talk about the last panel in this chapter. Let's talk about Caribou. Caribou actually begged to actually meet Teach, right? So this is what Caribou wanted all this time, and Oda made it significant actually bringing Caribou along, right, with the Straw Hats. Like, this has to be so significant. This has to be a game changer for Caribou joining the Blackbeard Pirates. Now, I can say one thing. This will be major for the Blackbeard Pirates because we see that Von Aegir can actually warp probably 2 people at a time. Now, with Caribou there, Caribou can have the whole crew come with him, right? Absorb the whole crew and have Von Aegir teleport only Caribou where he needs to go, and he can lead out, like, have everybody come out of his swamp fruit, the whole crew, right? And it's like 1,000 people. I don't know the limit, but he can teleport one person, Caribou, and have over 100 people come with him when Caribou released them from the swamp fruit. That's the only significant thing I can say about Caribou being on Blackbeard's crew with his devil fruit. And you know, Blackbeard want the devil fruit users, so his devil fruit is definitely significant and definitely will have great feats for Blackbeard. If you can tell me that one guy can have all my crew inside him and I can teleport him, this one person on one place, and everybody can come out of his swamp fruit, that's amazing. That's the only reason why I think that he'll be significant, because Oda made it so significant actually having Caribou come with Blackbeard. We're gonna see in detail what's the reason why he's so significant, but that's my opinion why I think that he's gonna join Blackbeard and have great feats with Blackbeard. Blackbeard definitely will use him to his utmost strength because of his devil fruit. Another chapter, 10 out of 10 for the chapter. It was so amazing. So many things came left and right in this chapter. This was a 10 out of 10 well deserved. Like, comment, subscribe to get more of me and more One Piece content. Like the video, like the video. Also follow me on Twitter. My following on Twitter is coming all together, so make sure you check me out on there. And I'm also posting early animations on Twitter of my videos of One Piece content. Thanks again. Love you. Be safe. Love yourself. Peace.